Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing kind of a makeup and hair tutorial. This was literally just me getting ready for work one morning, so this is my actual everyday makeup routine. Plus I just did some fun little buns this morning, so I thought I would film both for you. So I'm going to start by parting my hair down the middle all the way down the back. I use a pick for this, but you could use like a comb or something, anything pointy. And then I just tie up one half of my hair so I can work on the other half and not ruin that part. There was a fuzz in my hair. I start my braids up at the crown of my head right next to the part, and I go out at a diagonal angle. This is always how I braid my hair when I have two braids. I know you could do it differently, but I just start with 3 tiny sections of hair and overlap them, and then you just keep grabbing a little more from each side. And these are just regular French braids. Each strand is going on top of the other strand, not underneath. Once I get this to about the back corner of the top of my head, I don't know how to explain that. I stop picking up more hair because I don't want to go all the way down my head. I want the buns to sit on the top of my head. So once I get it to where I want the bun, I just braid what's left a couple of times to keep it all together and tie it off with a little elastic. I then grab the rest of my hair and make a big bun out of all of it together. This is just a super messy bun. I don't really have a good tactic for this, but I like to pull it halfway through and then kind of wrap the ends around while I pull the elastic over a second time. It never looks the same way twice, but that's how I always do it. And then I just repeat it on the other side, starting with my 3 strands and picking up a little bit more hair with each time. The key is to try to pick up the same amount of hair with each new strand, and that'll keep the braid really evenly spaced and it'll look really uniform all the way down. I'm pretty fast at braiding. I know this is sped up quite a bit, but it doesn't take me very long to braid, and I think it just adds something different to your hairstyle. You could do just space buns like this. I don't know why I call them space buns, but I do. But you can do buns like this without the braid and it would look just as cute, but I feel like the braid just kind of makes it a little bit different and looks like you put a lot more effort into your hair, even though it only takes an extra like 10 minutes. Braids are also a secret weapon for dirty hair days when you don't have time to shower. So once those are even, I put the elastic through first, and then I tease the hair. I don't know if I showed that on the first side, but this really helps with getting your buns to look bigger and more voluminous. So I just teased that top part, and then I brought the bottom half up to it and create another bun. They're not identical whatsoever, but it's fine. Then I just hairspray the top so that those braids stay intact. And I put these big brown scrunchies around them. Brown was the only color I could find that was matching that morning, but I think that just helps the buns look a little bit bigger, and the scrunchies just kind of complete the look. I thought this was a really cute hairstyle when I still had that design shaved in the back of my head, but really anybody can pull this off. And yes, I do have 6 elastics in my hair at this point. So moving into the makeup, starting with my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I love this primer. I just put that all over my face with my fingers, and I'm using the Cover FX Moonlight Drops as like a base highlight. I just stick this right on the high points of my cheeks, And then I'll put my foundation on top of that and kind of swirl it all in with my brush. These are just my everyday products. If I'm trying to do really quick out the door makeup, this is my go-to. I always use the Milani 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I love that. But I do find that it's a little bit drying on me, so I do like to use those Cover FX drops or something that's gonna like bring some luminosity to my skin, because without it, it is a little bit dry for me. And I don't know if you can tell, but I kind of concentrate those drops on the high point of my cheeks and up to my forehead, because that's where I want the most highlight to be. And then whatever's left, I just swirl in with the rest of the foundation with my brush. And I'm just using a lighter shade of that same foundation as my concealer under my eyes. And to set that in place, I'm using the Perfect Setting Powder by Cover FX. I absolutely love this powder. It is a little bit pricey. I bought it when it was on sale at Ulta. They do their like 20 days of sales or whatever. And it was like half off, and I absolutely love it. I do recommend it if you have kind of drier skin. It's a really nice powder that still keeps you looking like luminous, but it sets everything really well. And then I just set the whole rest of my face with this all-nighter powder. It's a waterproof powder from Urban Decay. It only comes in one shade, but it seems to work on me no matter what shade I am, so that's pretty cool. I use more of a flat top brush and just kind of buff that all over my face, and it really does help with the longevity of my makeup throughout the day. And this is just some setting spray that I actually made at home. My girlfriend made it. It's got like aloe and witch hazel in it. And I just do my brows really quickly. I'm using a ColourPop pencil, one of their skinny brow pencils here, and I just kind of line the bottom and the top and leave it kind of fluffy in the front. I always go back through with the spoolie side and just kind of blend it all together and make sure the front doesn't look too harsh. And then I've been taking this Make Me Brow brow gel from Essence. It's supposed to have little fibers, and it's kind of a tinted brown gel. And I think it just kind of keeps my brow hairs in place, theoretically, and just kind of makes them look more natural hair-like brows. For contour and bronzer, I just use the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. I don't really contour specifically anymore. I just kind of use this bronzer all around. I try to concentrate it in that like cheekbone sweet spot, but I kind of bring it up all the way up to like the front of my cheeks to kind of make them more pouty. And then I always contour the top of my head and under my chin. And I will use a skinnier brush to contour my nose with that same bronzer. I always make sure to bring that into my eyebrow as well. I think that kind of pulls it together. And right under the tip of my nose. Then I take a little fluffy blending brush, and I'm just using that same Butter Bronzer, and I just sweep that across my crease back and forth. And then I kind of connect it on the outer corner of my eye up to the crease there. That is basically all I do to my eyes on a daily basis. For blush, I'm using one by Milani. And I don't use a whole lot of blush, but I just sweep it kind of right over where I do that contour onto the apples of my cheeks. And I always just a little bit right over the tip of my nose. For mascara, I really like this one by NYX. It's On the Rise. I haven't been using it lately because it does start to get flaky like quickly. So if it's starting to dry out, get a new one. But it does make your lashes really like curl up, which makes them seem so much longer. I do coat my lashes like 15 times, so I didn't show all of that in this video, but you get the idea. Then I'm gonna run this Wonder Pencil just in my waterline. This is by NYX. It's just like a light, like fleshy color, but it kind of cancels the redness. It makes you look more awake. The finishing touch is a highlighter. This one is super dirty, but it is by Ofra with Nikki Tutorials. It's called Glazed Donut. It's beautiful if you are super pale, but I just stick that in the corner of my eyes, tip of my nose, and the top of my Cupid's bow. Then I'm just sticking in some earrings, and that is it. I'm out the door. I never seem to have time to put on a lip in the mornings. It's always something that ends up happening at work. So this was literally all I could film for you this morning. But thank you so much for watching. I don't know why I decided to film this one morning, but I hope that you enjoyed watching like a very realistic get ready with me. Something a little different for me, kind of quick and fun. So thanks again, and I will see you in my next one.